The Sound of Metal was directed by Darius Martyr and stars Riz Ahmad. This is a movie that was not on my radar at all until I saw a rave review for it. This guy really loved the movie so much that it kind of swayed me into seeing it. I was originally planning on reviewing Mank, the latest David Fincher film that dropped last weekend, but after watching it, I need a little more time to decipher exactly how I feel about it. I probably won't. I'll probably watch it a second time so I can really get all my thoughts in on it, but I don't know. That movie, it's a lot to handle. So naturally, I needed another movie review in the meantime, and this one just pretty much came at the perfect time. And I have to say, I enjoyed The Sound of Metal quite a bit. Even though it was not the movie I was expecting at all, and I was really surprised with how well it turned out in the end. Was it perfect? No, there were a few minor issues that held it back from being great. However, for the most part, it was a really sobering movie about a guy slowly losing grasp of his life. Now, one obvious thing that has to be said first off in the review is that this movie would be nothing without Riz Ahmad. His amazing performance completely carries the movie and is easily one of the best of the year. If he doesn't get any nominations or awards, there's something seriously wrong with this world. He was fantastic, completely throwing himself into the role and displaying a range of emotions effortlessly. I know he was talented. I know he was a talented guy from his roles in Rogue One, Nightcrawler, and Fort Lions, but he takes it to a whole other level here. This movie alone, he proves he's one of the most underrated actors currently working. I could not praise his performance more. Even though this movie is carried by Riz Ahmad, it's a solidly made movie all around, technically. The direction and writing from Darius Martyr is really good. It's nothing I would say is unique or really makes the movie especially good. It's just solid. Surprisingly really solid. The movie also doesn't hesitate to pull any punches. For some reason, the first thought that popped into my head right after the movie concluded was it felt like 50-50, the cancer movie from, I think, almost 10 years ago, starring Jason Gordon-Levitt, but way more brutally realistic. Like, if you take most of the comedy out of that movie, you get this movie, and I think it was a good mix. This is a very human movie, not ever too overdramatic, but also not shying away from the bleaker aspects of this story. And also just nails the tone it was going for and told a really gripping tale. The Sound of Metal accomplishes exactly what it sets out to do, pretty much firing on all cylinders with a few minor problems. The pacing definitely could have been a little better. This movie did not need to be 2 hours long, and there are some scenes that kind of feel like filler. While it may seem a little nitpicky, it happens frequently enough to where, yeah, there's a pacing issue in this movie. And that ending was so lame. It really goes against everything the movie built up about Ruben, Riz Ahmad's character. It was just so anticlimactic. It just felt like a cop-out. I feel like other people really won't notice it or really have this problem with the movie. Ending really just did not work for me whatsoever. But overall, The Sound of Metal was a movie that I really enjoyed. Riz Ahmad cemented himself as a top-notch talent. The technical side was really solid, and it was a very intriguing story. The Sound of Metal gets a B+.